You talk about professionalism. The hell with me. Moses Moody FP's getting DMP after DMP. The equivalent of a baseball player not playing for a week, right? Then you get your number called, you're batting 6, and then you go 3 for 4 with a jack and 3 RBIs. You're like, wow, how does this guy stay ready? Moses Moody is so damn impressive for a 21-year-old. To play the defense he played last night, to be in their right spots, to have solid games back-to-back nights, diving all over the floor, hustling. Jalen Brunson is a bad dude, shooting 48% from the floor, 40 from 3 FP, and 28 a game. 28 points a game. He was an all-star. He's been lighting up at Madison Square Garden. And Moses Moody, after being dusted off, and Steve Kerr, remember last week, Steve Kerr said he's just out of the rotation. Yeah. Next game, he starts, I don't know, maybe he's going to be starting for a while here.
Well, you like what you're seeing, right?
Yeah, I love what I'm seeing.
But he didn't just go like from not playing to the bench and then being like this 6th or 7th or 8th guy going in. He went right into the starting lineup. And the energy and the effort that he's given. They had a couple of like drives last night were fearless, and it was and ones where he's getting fouled at the rim and diving for things. The play the other night where he did the behind the back thing where he saved it from going out of bounds, flipped it all the way to half court, then Steph did the hook shot alley-oop to Kuminga. Like, dude, what he's giving you is he set the tone last night, dude. Yep. That was a physical team on the road in Madison Square Garden. I know they were undermanned, whatever. It's not who you play, it's when you play them. But he set the tone defensively last night, and they all kind of followed his lead.
Yep.
And you wonder that you get your day in the sun, you got to shine. That's how sports work. Whatever reason you're out for, whether it's, you can't lose your job to injury, my ass. You can lose your job any way you lose your job. So whatever's going on with Wiggins.
Alex Smith on line 1.
Whatever's going on with Wiggins, has he played great lately? Has he been the old Wiggins? Yes. But now he's got to ramp up again. He's missing time. I don't know how much time he might play tonight. I don't know what's going on. Nobody knows what's going on. It's none of our business. But now all of a sudden you get your chance and you're Moody and you're still a kid. How old is he? 21?
21 years old.
He's still a kid.
21 years old.
And now he's adding something, and they kept Clay on the bench because they want him to get used to that role. You could have started Clay, but Steve Kerr started Moody, and he gave him a chance. Everybody's been clamoring for Moody to play. Here he is. He's getting his opportunity. That's back-to-back baller games from him. He's not a guy that you're going to pick up the stat sheet and go, oh, he went for 30. No, it's just what he gives you on a nightly basis. I love what I'm seeing. Let him play. Keep him in there. Let him go.
He plays some good basketball. You mentioned setting the tone, FP. Warriors scored the first 14 points of the game. The Warriors' 14-0 run to start the game last night, FP, is tied for the second biggest run to start a game this season. 14-0, and the Knicks didn't score 5 minutes and 26 seconds into the game. That's the longest scoring drought to start a basketball game. The first 5 minutes and 26 seconds, the Knicks didn't score a bucket, FP.
It's like 24-4, too. It was just like, but you knew they were going to see NBA, dude. I was not taking any victory laps, 14-0. It's a Garden. You knew if the crowd got into it. Yep. Once they start playing the Oregon, by the way, just FYI, the Oregon in basketball is sick.
It is sick. I did see you tweet that. I love that.
I was like, we need more Oregons in basketball. It was sick.
No, it's classic. It's old school.
And you know that they got momentum. Once the Oregon plays, it's like a sign for the fans. So anyways, you knew that. Right. You knew that was good. I knew it was going to be a game. Just because the Warriors blow leads, it's what they do. You knew it was going to be a game.
And FP was disappointed that they were only up 9 going into the halftime. It was like they should have been up 20 with the way the Knicks shot so poorly there. But you know what? They win by 11. It's not easy. Went out on the road. They've done it 7 straight times here. So a big-time winning streak for the Golden State Warriors. All right, back to the line. So let's get Coach Vallejo. Coach Vallejo, man, what's happening? Good morning. You're on the roast.
Hey, good morning, Bonte FP. First of all, condolences to the Shasky family, and please pass that on for me.
Yep.
And I'm going to talk about the game. I saw what happened last night, with Draymond, of course, but talking about the game, I think one of the reasons why the Warriors are having trouble closing quarters, Kerr is force playing a lot of people. Now, there should be only 3 players guaranteed right now 30 minutes a game, and that's Steph, Kuminga, and Draymond, okay? Now, he's forcing. Pajitsky played 32 minutes last night, 2 points, 4 rebounds. Now, I know he's the new love child right now, but his minutes should not be guaranteed. He's forcing Sarge down our throat.
Yes.
He's forcing Sarge.
Yes.
And Sarge is not playing well at all. He's getting 10 to 12 to 15 minutes. Those minutes could go to Moody very easily. So I wish Kerr would believe his eyes and our eyes and watch what we're seeing on the court. Moses Moody is a threat out there. I'm sorry, Brandon Pajitsky is not a threat. He's not a scoring threat. And so I think Kerr should really be objective as much as possible, take the sentiment out of playing Sarge, especially in front of Trace Jackson Davis, and I think the Warriors will be a lot better off going down the stretch.
No, that's a good call, Coach. I agree with it, Coach. Shortening up the rotation. I think Steve Kerr will have to get to that at some point. Sarge right now is just struggling. His three-point shot has just gone awry. And it happened when Chris Paul was out because of the rapport Chris Paul and Sarge had to start the season from their days in Phoenix, from their days in OKC. All of a sudden, you know what? He'll sit for a while. But there's going to be a moment where the Warriors are going to need Sarge. Remember, Nemanja Bjelica a couple years ago. Struggle. Got off to a high start. We're playing Bia. Then he started struggling. Then in the playoffs, he had his moments. Same thing with Otto Porter Jr. So I wouldn't give up on Sarge. He is struggling. He's in a deep funk. And right now, TJD probably does earn those minutes or deserve those minutes over Sarge here. But Sarge is going to be important because of the way he spaces the floor, FP.
Question for you. When Wiggins comes back, we don't know when, do you move Podziemski to the bench and go Moody and Wiggins?
I like having two ball handlers, or three, because you get Draymond, you get Pods, and you get Curry. This start lineup is working. I'm not going to do anything to mess with it. Now, if Wiggins comes back,
that's what
how
I'm
long
saying.
is it going to take him to get his rhythm? So I'm looking at somebody. I'm just saying maybe Wiggins comes off the bench. And all of a sudden you come off the bench and you have Chris Paul, Klay Thompson, and Andrew Wiggins coming off that bench. That is a lot of firepower coming off the bench. Because now you got Curry rolling with the start lineup with JK. Draymond Green said it a couple weeks ago. He's our bona fide number 2 option. And when it came down to nutcracking time, what did they do? Dump the ball down to JK, make something happen. Whether it's the baseline, whether it's a little lefty scoop, whether it's a dunk around the rim. I'm good in the starting lineup with Curry and JK being the top scoring options, and you got Pods penetrating to the rim, and you got Draymond quarterbacking and orchestrating everything. I'm good with that. It's going to take Wiggins maybe a couple games to get into rhythm, depending on how long he's out. FP, I tell Wiggins, hey, just roll with Klay and CP3. We're going to stick with the starting unit, especially if they continue to play well, FP.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Dude, Kuminga was like so aggressive. I thought he pinned himself too deep on a baseline drive, and he just threw his left hand up at the last second and went in. I'm like, oh, damn. Like he's their most exciting player. He's their most exciting, and that's including Steph Curry at this moment as I speak. He's the most exciting player.
Like everybody looks at scoring and Pods. Look, man, I'm not a plus-minus guy, but I thought Pods moved the ball well. He's handling the ball. He knows where to be. Look, Steve Kerr's going to have to make a decision. If he wants to bring back Andrew Wiggins straight into the starting lineup. Now, here's the cold part about Wiggins. His last 16 games, he was playing the best basketball of the season. He's shooting 45 from 3, 46. Over 50% from the floor. Giving you 15 and 5 in lockdown defense. So, you know, when he does come back, you're probably going to start him. But do you start him over Moody and Pods? I like having the other ball handler. But again, you can do it both ways. You can do it with Steph Curry and Draymond Green. Draymond Green can handle the ball. You got JK who can bring the ball up the floor. So I don't know. You have a plethora of options for the starting lineup. But again, it's not about the starters, folks. Who's going to be in that closing 5? That, to me, is the most important thing. Who's going to bring home, because you talked about finishing quarters, who's going to be in that final lineup to finish these quarters, FP? Who will be there?
The hot hand on that night.
Exactly.
There's 2 guys that are exempt from that? Steph, Kuminga,
and Draymond, because of his defense.
Well, if you're behind, you need offense.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a nightly thing. Like when they're up, Draymond's in. I need my best defensive unit out there. When they're down, I need my best offense out there. And it's just going to be like Steve Kerr seeing what's going on and having a feel for the last 5.
Yep. Let's go to BPA before we hit the break. BPA, man, what's happening? Brian and Palo Alto.
What's going on, man? Hey, Bonte, don't change, right?
Is that coming from you? Are you sure?
It's coming from everyone. Keep telling the truth. And I think, if you were to rewind 10 years and say 95.7 The Game is going to be the dominant sports station in the Bay Area, people would have, said that was literally impossible. Yeah. I think the reason why is you guys tell the truth, right? And obviously you have to walk a line. You have to walk a line with the Warriors, and you do. There's a line that you can't go over, but within that line, you guys tell the truth. Conversely, the other station, the Giant station, is nothing more than, sort of shilling and propaganda for the Giants. Nothing more. and they're not telling the truth. They're lying to their listeners. And, as long as they keep doing that and you guys keep telling the truth, then, the outcome's going to be the same.
Hey, BPA.
Right? When you lie to your customers, there will be consequences. So keep telling the truth. And,
Hey, BPA.
You walk along. Yeah.
BPA, it must be a cold day in hell if you're on my side today. I'm joking with you.
I'm on your side. And, you weren't saying anything that 95% of everyone else wasn't thinking, right?
No doubt.
That guy that just ripped you, I don't recall him calling in when Draymond was suspended indefinitely saying how great Draymond was. So, it's ridiculous. And, Draymond, you got to create, some sort of friction or whatever. I get it. That's not your fault. But anyways, great job. Keep it up.
All right, BPA. We're going to break here. We're going to get to everybody. We got Uncle Gene coming up next. We got Austin. We got Will. We got Miller in Indianapolis. We got Frank. Lines are lit up right now. 888-957-9570 as we're talking about the game. And, of course, if you want to chime in on what happened last night, I really don't want to do it. I'm kind of over it. I'm ready to move on. I can't wait to get into the studio and talk about the Raptors and move on from this situation. But we're having fun with it.
There's people just getting in their cars and want to talk about it.
And you know what? I'm going to say it again. Draymond didn't do anything wrong. If you guys think he did, that's fine. I didn't take it personal whatsoever.